Evening.
Evening.
Right, I would make
Evening.
Evening.
evening. The money on today, or all right. Okay, let's just go through a couple of things. A few things popped up. So, guys, just want to remind you, PPE on machines, leaving your PPE on there in this current climate, not acceptable. Okay, we don't know whether you are, you could have symptoms, but I'm not explaining them at the time. All of those things. So when somebody else, like your day maintainer, goes on and he has to then move it, bag it, whatever else, you're going to go on mute, guys. That puts him at risk, him or her, to say. So please make sure you remove your PPE at the end of each shift, and also please keep your housekeeping of the cabs as good as possible. We had a video sent through to us this morning from one of the day maintainers. I'm not going to call out. It's not acceptable leaving your cabs in that way. So if you can just all concentrate on that, that'd be appreciated. So we had some people at the weekend, or somebody at the weekend, should I say, display symptoms of COVID-19. He was then removed from the machine with the person that was in close contact to him, and they're self-isolating for 7 days. And then yesterday, I think it was Sunday, the government changed their stance, and Andy Davis sent it through to me again as well this morning on testing for essential workers. So we are now right at the bottom of the list as classed as keeping goods, freight and everything else moving, entitled to get tested. So I sent that off to the exec, including Dominica and Robert Cheeseman, Occupational Health, this morning. And they're going to take that up to Mark Groombridge, which they have done, to see how that runs, whether it's a drive-through centre, for example, that they've currently got working for the NHS, and what sort of tests they are rolling out. So as soon as I get that, I will let you know. Me personally, if it's not an antigen test, I don't really. My own personal opinion is I wouldn't really be bothered going for it, because it could give you what we call a false positive. So basically, you could go get tested one day with showing no symptoms, but the next day those symptoms could have manifested itself, and actually get the test back pretty quickly, so it might not have picked it up. So then you have to go for another test. So the antigen test tells you whether you've had it, whether you've got natural immunity to it, or you have built up immunity to it, or whether you haven't had it at all, and whether you haven't got any immunity. So, but I'm not sure what sort of test it is. So again, as soon as I know more, which hopefully will be no later than Wednesday, then we can let you guys know. And as frontline essential workers, you would be able to go and get tested. And it's also extended, from what I've read on the government website today, as well to your family. So as soon as I know more, I'll let you know. There's an email come out today on driving speed. Again, it's, I'm not calling anybody out. Just please remember, the rules and the regs of Balfour Beatty for a start, but also remember the old bill. We've had loads, I don't know whether it's just Norfolk or whether it's all over, but literally loads of people being stopped and given a summons to court. I think one guy at the weekend on the A11 here was doing 140 odd miles an hour. You are going to get caught. So just remember, that what is required of you when you're in your company vans, and also if you're in your own cars. I know the roads are quiet, and you think, I can put my foot down, get there a bit quicker. Please don't. PPE orders. Somebody sent through a close call today on their PPE, saying that they've been waiting 2 months. Guys, if you put an order in and you're at the 2-month point, then seriously, you need to be shouting up really, really, a lot quicker, so I can intervene and find out what the hell is going on. So Lou is on that for that individual now with Bunzels to find out where it's fallen down. I've asked for an RCA root cause analysis as to why that's fallen down, and then we can try and stop that happening again. But nobody should be waiting 2 months for their PPE. And if you put an order in on a Monday, I expect you to be getting that PPE no later than a Friday, and that's at the worst case scenario. So if you haven't got it by that point, you need to be contacting your line managers or raise it with me on the morning call, because waiting 2 months is just not acceptable. There's an email, sorry, not an email, communications that has come out this afternoon. I think it was at 16:31. And it's got some stuff on there about stickers for our vehicles. So I don't know whether any of you guys have sort of read in the press, and it's been on the telly. Some key workers have been abused, including, believe it or not, doctors and nurses, by I would say ignorant people and the members of the public. So Balfour Beatty has got some stickers that we're going to get, and you can then put on to the vehicles to let them know you're making a critical contribution during COVID-19. But also on there is some good resources for mental health, how to deal with the lockdown, and supporting yourself through that. So again, we had a call on the 8:15 call this morning. We recognise that obviously all of the issues that you guys could be facing out there, and the stress that impacts on you as well. So I've just had a look through those resources, and actually they do look pretty good. If anybody is, again, I'll repeat this, if anybody is struggling, needs to talk, my phone's on, your ops guys are on, your line managers are on, or you've got the helpline as well that you can go through. So please don't think that you're alone. Mental health affects everybody in very different ways. Stress, anxiety, you might have other complications going on at home before COVID-19 started, and this could just be impacting. So please look at the resources that are available on the web through Balfour Beatty 360 thing. And then again, like I say, if you need to speak to any of us, pick up the phone, drop us an email, or if you need to go through the counselling, then do that. But we will support you through this. And that's really it, guys. That from today, there won't be, unless I get some information out on Wednesday. There's not another call till Friday. But if it's about testing, then it will come out in the format of I would imagine a newsletter and email as well. So we will make sure that you get that information of how you go through and get tested if you so desire, especially if you have displayed symptoms of COVID-19 or should I say, if a member of your family have, and with you being an essential worker, then obviously the testing, if you go down that road, will allow you to know whether you have those symptoms and whether you can continue working, etc. So that's all I've got for this evening. So again, I'll open up to any questions from you guys.
Hi, Andy. Just going back to the PPE on the machines. Yep. What are we doing with the left items on the machine? Because I've been on numerous machines, and they've been hung up for quite a while.
Right, as far as I am concerned, if there are left items on the machine, we need to bag it in the waste bag so it can be taken away and disposed of correctly. And I need to come up with some kind of marking to say that some kind of, leave that with me and I'll come back to you. But basically, we highlight it on a close call. We'll see if we can track down the owner of it first of all. And then we need to bag it like we did last week and then dispose of it. So with all the other stuff that goes through the environmental stuff way. So let me just find out from Dominica if I can do that through that waste collection company. So I will come back to you on that.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Jim. Good to hear. I was out working Saturday night up in Aberdeenshire, and I was just talking to the PICOP and TTSO, same person, and it was about the essential work order. The Network Rail was looking at essential work only. And he told me that, well, he'd been told by his DU that all work, all shifts, all tampers and stoneblowers was essential work. Have you anything to add to that?
Well, we take our guidance from Network Rail, so the maintenance of the track, whether that's tampering or stone blowing at this point in time, is being classed as essential work. And we, again, I mean, I haven't been on the 11:15 for a few days because I've had other stuff, but I know Howard has, etc. But again, that is the nature of our job. We are there to make sure that the increase now in freight goods that are coming through have the tracks that Network Rail desire to have in the condition that they desire to have them, and that's what our contract is.
So the rest, what we've said before, wasn't correct then?
Say again?
Well, we talked originally that the work that was being carried out was not be desirable or pre-planned 12 months in advance, but work that would remove speeds and rectify defects on the track.
Right. All we can James, all we can tell you is on the calls, it's been raised. This is what they are classing as essential work. Unless that changes, when they change it, it will change. But what they are telling us and what we have planned in, they are classing as essential work, and most of the routes are.
Okay, cool. As the PPE, I still haven't received mine 3 weeks. I did not notify Andy today, but is there any reason why it takes so long? Do you know?
No, and it shouldn't do. So if you've been waiting 3 weeks, James, then yeah, I'll pick that up with Luke. Can you just drop me a quick email of when you ordered it, what you ordered, and we'll get that chased down with Bunzels.
Okay, cool. I will do.
Did you order that through the central procurement thing now that you have to go through for PPE?
Well, there was a...
Sorry, yeah, you're right, Jimmy. It should go through separately. I spoke to Louisa about this earlier. Sorry, it's Howard. And Louisa said, look, why don't I start chasing all of these PPE orders? And I've told Louisa not to do that because this is why we have the central function. This is why we got rid of certain people in the business, because the central function took over. But I think, Andy, rather than you take it on, Jim, if you send an email to myself, Howard Smith, and then I'll deal with Louisa, Andy.
All right, mate.
And we'll get that chased up for you, Jim. Send it straight through, mate, and I'll get that chased up with Louisa.
Howard, if I can just cut in, it's Andy. I've already taken it up with the central team and got to the bottom of what actually happened.
All right, go on.
Yeah, with the orders being placed, it hadn't been placed. Apparently there was 2 orders put through and some sort of confusion over one order cancelling another.
Right.
Don't quite know why, but anyway, I've spoken to Catherine in their central team, and she's treating the order as well. She's already placed the order, and she's on to Bunzel. So hopefully, Jim, you're going to get it in the next day or so.
Well, thanks, Andy. I think I'll be at home.
Thanks, guys. Is there anything else? No, right, okay. Again, thanks for everything that you've done over the weekend and continue to do this week. And I will pick up all with you on Friday. Again, if there's anything else that comes out that changes significantly, we'll put it out, get a call in, and we'll send it out on the Stoneblower.com. So again, stay safe, guys, and I shall speak to you all on Friday. Thanks.
Excellent. Thanks.
All right.
Excellent.
Cheers.